This is the brand new HBX 3100A short course truck. We are just going to go ahead and slap the stickers on it real quick.
Yes, that is a spectacular looking RC. HBX got me all fuzzy again, but
I've already got all these other short course trucks. What's the big deal?
well, this is not just a re-release of something they've already done. This is a legitimate, original design by HBX that's actually short course style. All these others are just regular old chassis they use on other models. I absolutely love all of these. Well, that one's okay. This one's got quite the hill to climb to beat this one out. Really curious to see how I like it, and we'll probably do a video comparing the two. Suspension's nice and soft, but definitely should be able to handle some small jumps. There's one extra thing they did here too I'm going to show you in a second, but we've got extra spare tires. Well, not extra spare. Those words have the same meaning. Well, we got a spare and an extra spare. Yes, they are genuine and will be usable in the event of any problems with the ones that are on there. Got skid guards up on top of the body. I still don't know if it's supposed to be violent or voilance. We've got lights tethered by a piece of duct tape. That's cool. They plug in right here. We still have a separate ESC and receiver. This ESC is 3S capable. So yes, we're gonna put a 3S battery in it in this video. I do find this kind of funny. One of the biggest complaints that we all complain about is the size of the battery tray on pretty much any HBX model, right?
Yes.
See? So here we have a brand new designed chassis with a battery bracket on top, and they could have made it bigger. It comes with a 1050 milliamp hour battery. However, if you remove this piece of foam, which I'm gonna do in a little bit, you can fit the HBX 1800 milliamps in there. It would just be a little more secure with a 1 inch longer strap. Now, a quick side note, because with those battery sizes, it's not really about the runtime for me. It's just about the options. There's so few options of batteries in that size. All right, do a backflip. All right, so the chassis itself has quite the roll cage back here. It feels pretty stout, but it's also flexible. Metal front axles with metal differentials. The rear, we have a solid axle. Telescoping drive shaft, genuine trailing arms, and a closed rear differential. These are solidly connected. The front has open diffs as usual. Now that should greatly improve its driftability. When you have open diffs, sometimes the traction is too good, and one of the wheels will grab the pavement or the dirt, and it'll break your power slide. Try another backflip. Yes, dude, nice. I just noticed it looks like we might have a tail light. The other ones are right there in the front of the show. We are, of course, going to test that with the stock battery first. Speed tests on that and the 3S. Some dirt, some leaves, some gravel, asphalt, grass, maybe a little jump or two. We've got spare metal wheel hexes, which is what is in there. Tools, extra wheel nuts, a bind plug, wheel pins, 2 chargers, extra body clips, ooh, and an extra axle and tie rod link. Now these fronts are CVDs, so this would be an extra rear axle. Okay, we're about to get started here. Let's go. S probably doesn't have quite the punch for a really awesome drift because it doesn't lose traction easy enough. So we're gonna get to 3S pretty quick. .20 miles per hour. Now that speed may seem a little slow to you, but I'll go into why they did that here in just a minute. Plus, of course, it's gonna be faster on 3S. All right, I do think this thing was really made for a 3S battery. This one did not last very long. So we're gonna go ahead and put that 3S in there because this thing drifts really nice, and I think with a little more speed, it's gonna do even better. Yeah, that battery fits in there perfectly. The strap certainly could be a little bit longer. I will link them in the description.
A little more practice and hopefully we'll be drifting around the whole circle. Squirrel! Whoops, it's not Halloween anymore anyway.
Hopefully he doesn't throw a plunger at me. 33. Oh. Oh no. Uh-oh, I seem to have broken it that time. It's just an extremely oddly bent hinge pin. Why'd you do that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I like your bucket. Is that full of stuffed animals and teddy bears?
No.
Alright, well, that's not too bad for all those curb smashes it did. Here is a pile of some of the hinge pins I've got lying around. Surely one of them will work. Now the biggest challenge is going to be getting this one out because of how bent it is, and we want to not damage the control arm. Oh, there we go. That wasn't hard. Alright, the closest one I have is maybe 1/8 of an inch too long.
And that might fit, but if not, we'll just cut it down.
Man, I really need a new impact driver.
I did ask Santa for one, so we'll see.
Well, dang, while I'm at it, that one's bent too. It is too long, it won't go all the way in. Back with some more violence.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ah.
Yes, I won!
Yes, you did. This mud is really soft.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Oh, what's up? There's a big old cliff over there. Come here, look at this.
That looks like a pretty steep cliff.
Yeah, are
Look
you?
right there.
Yeah, are you jumping down that?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
No one could.
Oh.
They're like a professional climbing.
I'm a professional climber.
No, you're not.
Oh.
Yeah, I just did it again right there.
Yeah, you're a drift master. You're definitely better at drifting than combing your hair. That's battery?
Yeah.
That was a long time though. That was 27 minutes. That's one of the best battery lives ever. Yeah, I like this thing a lot.
A little tough to control on slick surfaces, but on dry pavement that's not slick, like dirty or gravelly, it works perfectly. Like out here on my street, it was really easy to get to full speed. Well, actually, even when it was wet out in my street, it worked good. In that dirty, gravelly parking lot, it was really tough to get to full speed without it spinning out. Doesn't do well in the gravel either. And then probably would work really well on dry, hard dirt. I have yet to find a place like that. But
this was on 3S this second time here at this other location. There's that same battery.
we got 27 minutes out of it. Very impressed. I was thinking 20 at the most.
This body took a absolute kicking. The tires do tuck inside the body, but under full suspension travel, they rub a little bit on the inside. Our precision engineered wire tether held on just fine. And yeah, I mean, there's not a single crack, and this took a lot of tumble. It's a pretty thick body. Oh wait, there's a crack. Sorry, there's one right there. Just kind of blends in with the dirt.
I'm pretty happy with the speed. Of course, 2S could be a little faster, but the thing with this car is you want it to have that power. You want a little more torque over speed because you want it to be able to break the tires loose as you're going around the turn. And that was kind of the problem with 2S. It drifts and power slides much better on a 3S battery because it's able to break those tires loose a lot easier.
Which is also where that closed differential comes in. After all that running, we did
3 battery packs, 2 of which were the 3S.
And the only malfunction we had were those bent hinge pins.
suspension definitely feels really nice, and it looks good as it's going across gravel and bumps. None of our accessories came unglued. Everything stayed nicely in place. There is a servo saver built into the servo arm.
And for you maniacs out there, of course I might try it too,
There is definitely room for a longer and probably even a wider motor. And since it's got a separate receiver, you wouldn't even have to switch out the transmitter. And really, depending on what you use, you shouldn't even have to switch out that ESC. That's a 45 amp Hobby Wing 3S capable ESC. Now, judging off the way this car is built,
I would not do big jumps with it. I don't think it's gonna handle it.
really like these batteries, which I'll list in the description. You do have to have adapters. I made those myself, but I'll have those in the description too. As far as controllability,
Max was able to get some sweet power slides in. It's an easy one to learn on, I'd say. In fact, it honestly drives like a small version of the Arma Sentin, which is funny because the Sentin does not have a closed differential. It's all open. But this has a very similar drift and drive feel.
plus even though they're pretty much exactly the same class, it's a very different feeling vehicle than this one
Let
is.
me know if you'd be interested in a comparison video between all of our short course trucks.